Long before Wall Street, way before any digital transactions, there was this empire that built a lot more than just roads and armies. It actually built a financial system so advanced that you can still feel its echoes in your wallet today. So let's take a journey back 2,000 years and uncover the seriously surprising origins of modern finance. I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? The idea of your bank account, or your credit card, or even just getting a loan. It all feels so incredibly modern, doesn't it? A product of computers and fast-paced global markets. Well, the truth is, the fundamental DNA of our entire financial world was actually forged 2,000 years ago, right in the heart of the Roman Empire. And in this explainer, I'm going to show you exactly how. All right, so to understand our banks, we have to go back to the very beginning. We have to start with Rome's very first bankers. Picture this, the Forum Romanum. It's chaotic, it's loud, it's the absolute beating heart of all Roman commerce. Now, forget about glass towers and fancy lobbies. Banking started right here, in these open-air stalls. Money changers would sit at these simple tables, or mensa, to do all their business. And here's the amazing part. That little detail is where our financial world gets its name. The Italian word for bench, banco, is the direct origin of our modern word bank. It literally all started with a bench in the middle of a market. And the people sitting at these benches, they were called the argentarii. These were the original private bankers. They were the ones who'd exchange foreign coins for merchants. They offered a safe place for regular citizens to deposit their wealth. And this is the crucial part. They gave out loans. They were really the financial engine of everyday Roman life. But the argentarii weren't working alone. Rome developed this surprisingly complex financial system with different specialists for all kinds of different roles. So you had the argentarii handling all the daily business, but when a financial crisis hit, the state would step in and appoint mensarii. Think of them like an early version of a central bank, issuing state-backed loans to stop the economy from collapsing. And then you had the coauctores. These were the specialized agents and debt collectors, the guys that made sure the huge tax revenues from all across the empire actually made it back to Rome. It was this really sophisticated network of private, public, and specialized finance. Now, this system wasn't just about lugging bags of coins around. The Romans innovated, and one of their most brilliant inventions was something called the per scriptio. Think of it like a written order to your banker. You could use it to pay someone in a completely different city without ever having to risk transporting a heavy, tempting chest full of gold. It was a total game changer for secure, long-distance trade. And this is where the connection to today just clicks. A Roman per scriptio was a written order to a bank to pay someone from your account. A modern check it's a written order to a bank to pay someone from your account. The technology is obviously different, but the fundamental idea, it's identical. Okay, so how on earth did they keep track of all this? They used these meticulous records called codices. These were the bankers' account books, and they detailed every single deposit, withdrawal, and transfer. And get this, they weren't just for personal reference. These books were considered legally binding evidence in a Roman court of law. And just like with the check, the modern parallel here is just striking. Roman codices and our modern digital bank ledgers serve the exact same purpose. They are the legally recognized record of truth. They build accountability and transparency right into the system, a principle the Romans established thousands of years ago. So we've seen this system, but who were the people actually running it? Well, they weren't just number crunchers. They were some of the most powerful and influential figures in the entire empire. Let's take someone like Lucius Caecilius Jucundus. He was a banker from Pompeii. His financial records, which were amazingly preserved in wax tablets by the ash of Vesuvius, they show us everything. Loans, real estate deals, public contracts. This guy was at the center of his city's entire economic life. You could say his records were the very pulse of Pompeii's economy. And their influence? It reached the absolute highest levels of power. Marcus Junius Brutus, that Brutus, Caesar's assassin, was also a massive lender. He financed provincial governors, often at totally staggering interest rates, and he used that financial power to shape politics. Roman bankers weren't just moving money around, they were moving empires. But all this power, all this innovation, it all rested on one single, incredibly powerful idea. And that idea was fides, which basically means trust. Now, for the Romans, this was not just some vague notion. It was a sacred, legally enforceable duty of honesty. A banker who broke that trust didn't just lose a few customers. They faced severe legal punishment. The entire system was built on the rock-solid belief that a financial promise was binding. So, when the Roman Empire eventually fell, its aqueducts and its armies crumbled. But its financial blueprint? That endured. It was passed down piece by piece through the centuries. You can literally draw a straight line. The core principles of Roman contract laws survived. They influenced the rules of the medieval guilds, which then laid the groundwork for the great Renaissance banking families, like the Medici, which in turn evolved directly into the modern financial systems we all use every single day. So, the crucial point is this. Rome's echoes are everywhere in your bank today. Their ledger systems are the great grandparents of double-entry bookkeeping. Their ideas about public credit, the ones they use to stabilize the state, are the foundation for modern government bonds. And the very idea that a banker has an ethical duty to their client, that goes straight back to the Roman concept of fides. Our entire global financial system rests on a foundation that was laid in an ancient marketplace with benches for desks. It really makes you wonder, right? What financial ideas or technologies are we creating today that will have that same lasting power, that will still be shaping the world 2 millennia from now? If you enjoyed this deep dive into where our modern world really came from, make sure to subscribe for more explainers from us. Thanks so much for watching.